Today we're going to be making a landscape inspired by Ted Harrison. Ted Harrison was from Canada, where he became inspired by his surroundings to paint the landscape of the Yukon. His paintings always looked like bright swirls of vibrant color. This project begins with creating a value scale to prepare the paper that you will use to create the mountains. A value scale is an arrangement of different values of color, typically from darkest to lightest. Fold your paper in half, and then fold it in half again, leaving you 4 equal sections. Unfold your paper and prepare your paint. We will be using blue and white paint today to create our value scale. Use the blue paint first without mixing any white as your first step. Paint the entire top rectangle with just blue paint. Next, add a bit of white to the blue. This will lighten the blue to create a tint. In the next sections, add more white to lighten the blue further. Follow the same process to create the lightest value for the 4th section. You can set that aside to dry so that we can work on the background. Start by folding your purple paper in half to create a horizon line where the sky and water will meet. Use a white oil pastel or crayon to draw a few swirling lines on the top half of the paper. This will create a few sections for you to paint inside of. I'm making 5 or 6 wavy lines. For the sky, you will be creating different values of red by adding white and red together in various amounts. Starting anywhere in no particular order, paint one section of the sky pure red. For another section, add a bit of white to the red paint to create a lighter tint of red. Continue adding white to your paint to create lighter tints of red, painting one section at a time. After the paint dries, use a pencil to trace a medium-sized circle on a piece of white paper for the sun. Use liquid glue to glue the sun in the sky. As long as your blue value paper is dry, you can start to cut along the fold lines to create 4 equal pieces of paper. Next, start to tear the lightest blue paper in half. You'll want to create a mountain form for each side, so it's easiest to start off with 2 pieces of paper. When you tear, you always want to tear downward, towards your body, holding the piece that you are using for the mountain in your right hand, pulling the scrap paper towards you with your left hand. This will make a bit of the pink paper that you painted visible, and it adds a nice contrast. When tearing your paper, try to create a rugged, rough textured edge on the top and inside edge of the mountain form. Lay the mountain forms on the bottom half of your sky paper. The lightest mountain form should overlap the horizon line and go over the pink sky a little bit. Continue tearing mountain forms and placing them on your paper. Don't glue yet. Arranging the forms with the lightest in the background and the darkest in the front helps to give your art atmospheric perspective, where things that are further away in the space appear lighter and less pigmented than things that are closer. The area in between the mountains is forming a river. Once you have a composition you're satisfied with, you can begin gluing, starting with the lightest mountain forms in the background. Very similar to a Ted Harrison painting. For the final step, use the Ted Harrison Animal Guide to add a few animals to your artwork. You can draw your own tiny animals and glue them on, or you can color the ones on the drawing guide, cut them out, and glue them on.